There we go. And checking YouTube sources. If you're just joining us, this is our weekly AMA. It is a very open format where everybody is more than welcome to participate and help us out with, you're more than welcome to ask questions and help answer questions as well. So, and there are no stupid questions by any means. So if you feel like your question may be stupid, I guarantee you it is not stupid. And there are plenty of other people who have very similar questions that you would. I promise you that. But again, welcome everybody to the weekly AMA. I think I've got live stream going so that we can get recordings happening. I know every time we do this, we get asked about, is there a recording available? Well, now we have recordings available because these are live streamed to the YouTube. And I want to make sure I have all of my chats open up so that I can get all the questions. Okay. There we are. Yeah, if you have any questions at all, you're more than welcome to put them into the chat. If you would like to join me up on the stage and to ask your question or help to answer questions, you can do that as well. Let me get people tagged here. Hopefully y'all are having a good day. There we go. Good to see y'all in the chat. I see the people typing, but I don't see any messages coming through in the Discord chat. So could somebody throw something, any kind of message in the chat? Just say hello or something, just so I know that the Discord chat is working. Because for me, it just shows people typing, and I see no. Oh, there we go. What's going on, Singularity? Binary overflow. Any good resources to learn about Linux application pen testing? Linux application pen testing. I don't know if I have any resources that I can refer to you off the top of my head that would be good. But if anybody has any suggestions, you're more than welcome to put them in the chat. What's going on, Muhammad, Galzeris, and Iceman Zero? How y'all doing? What's going on, Leon? How you doing?
How's it going?
Good, good.
There you go. So just by the question of Linux application pen testing, I guess you're talking about thick clients, basically desktop thick clients. Well, most applications on Linux are binaries, or they're probably like an app image or something like that. And most of them, I'm not 100% sure. They're mostly, unless they're binaries, they are like a compressed type of file. You can uncompress, and then you can do some reverse engineering, basically. You can do like system-wide proxies too for those requests. But you will also find a lot of Electron apps, which have their own kind of methodology, basically.
Thank you, sir. I have a question that popped in from the YouTube. What's the best coding language to learn right now for AI?
See.
See, yeah, right.
Yeah.
All of them? No. I don't know. Python's probably always going to be the go-to, right? I mean, that's just, I think Python is designed for all of the machine learning and AI capabilities in a way. So probably Python will be your best bet if you're looking to utilize AI along, like with your kind of like development journey, if you will, or
and learn how to make good prompts. For example, the other day, I didn't have time to prepare for my interview questions because I don't like having like a standard set of interview questions. Just a thing of me. So I had AI based on the profile of the person I was interviewing, and an extensive prompt that I did. It took me like 20 minutes to make that prompt. It made a list of 30 questions that I did. They were great questions, to be honest. But yeah, learn how to properly prompt.
Prompting is the new coding for sure,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Like, you don't need to learn to code. You need to learn to prompt, because if you know how to prompt, you can code. Thanks, vibe coding and all that fun stuff,
Uh,
right? Muhammad Ali, just curious to learn about cybersecurity working as a network engineer. Well, welcome to the chat. If you have any questions about, your journey or maybe what's next, you can throw your questions in the chat. We're more than happy to help you out. But good luck to you. And
a little
Galzeros,
a little fun fact about bytecoding. Today, I found a GitHub repo which had like a application. It tells you how to bytecode it. Instead, like it tells you straight up, hey, install Cursor. There are some files that tell Cursor what to do. You do these prompts in this order.
that's funny.
And if you
That-
want new features, you can tell Cursor to do it.
yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
See, like, we get so many questions about like, AI and all this and like what's going to happen. And it's just so hard to say with like how
Mhm.
things are advancing and how quickly they're advancing too. So, Galzerus has a question here about a remote job. They live in Central Asia and want to get a remote job in a SOC, probably level one for a while at a company located in US, Europe, or Singapore, maybe. Is it even possible to work in level one, level two in a SOC remotely from different country? It's definitely possible. Uh, I don't just with like all the stuff that's happening in the US right now, and it's it's chaos really, just to be honest with you. I don't know that you'd have much luck with the US. I know a lot of people have had luck with like Canada, and like Europe has been a good one too. The possibilities are there. I don't know that I would look at the US right now as a strong possibility. And again, nothing from, there's a lot of concerns with like, threat actors, especially from US companies these days with the advancement of AI and all the fake, basically people applying for jobs and all of that. So I know that there are extra concerns from some organizations hiring people from outside the U.S., especially from very specific countries and things like that. So
Mhm.
um, it can be difficult, but it is possible.
Yeah, you have to look for workplaces or companies that are multinational, that they don't only serve like US clients. Because there are people, I do know some SOC managers that have presence not only in the US, but in Germany and other countries. And those type of companies are the ones that can hire you from, I will guess you're in Singapore, since Central uh, Asia, and also mentioned in Singapore. That's basically it. For that, you have to look for multinational companies.
Yeah, that's all right. I was looking at the live stream and it shows your video feed is pretty choppy.
Mine?
Yeah, I wonder if I turn off graphic acceleration and if it'll break it or fix it. It's not you though, it's me. So
Okay.
it's not you.
Yeah, it's just because I have a filter because only I'm on Linux. And on Linux, the Discord client doesn't have like filters and that, and I'm using like a OBS filter
Yeah.
without a green screen too. It's impressive, I will say. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's that. I think because I'm remoted into another computer so that I can host the live feed from that one. And I think, yeah, just all my network
Mhm.
things it's not happy right now. But anyway, if y'all have any more questions, you're more than welcome to throw them into the chat. We have another one here from JAMP. They complete network, OS, and Linux and Windows. Now they learn HTML, CSS, JavaScript. In this, I'm getting more confusion and feel complex to learn those along with API DOM. I feel lack of confidence to succeed in your career in offensive security. All right. So, gathering kind of what you're saying here, you are in a very similar position basically to honestly like every other person who's trying to get into cybersecurity or IT as a whole. You start down a learning path and it's like the more you learn, the more you learn, the more you don't know, right? Because as you're going through this learning journey for IT and cybersecurity, you start to discover all these new technologies and really cool things. And I think there's always this assumption with people that you feel like you have to know all of these things. And I think that's where you're at right now. Is I think you're feeling like you have to know all of these things when you don't. You don't have to know every single technology and tool and resource that exists that's out there. That's not possible. Um, Slow and steady wins the race, first of all. So don't worry about how
Mhm.
long it's taking you to go through this journey. Um, all of the things that you don't feel confident about now, like that confidence builds over time as you're just going through this journey, honestly. And I know that's not an answer that anybody wants to hear. Like nobody ever wants to hear, hey, it's going to take time. Like you just have to wait. But that's like unfortunately the truth. Like you're not going to get confidence overnight. You're not going to feel comfortable with any of these things overnight. You're not going to feel comfortable with any of these things maybe ever, quite honestly. And I don't mean to like I don't mean to say that to like discourage you in any way. I think the majority of people who work in IT cybersecurity suffer from imposter syndrome, and I think that's maybe could be something that you're facing too, just based on what you're saying. Um, but we all face these challenges of like feeling like we have to know it all, and we don't. Nobody's going to expect you to know all of the things. So the best advice that I could give to you is just take your time and try your hardest not to worry about like how fast it's going, or try not to worry about like what you don't know right the second, you know. Tomorrow's a new day. Tomorrow's a new opportunity to learn something new if you need to. Um, but don't get frustrated or overwhelmed with where you're at right now. Just take it slow, take it piece by piece. You know, if you're going to learn HTML, CSS, JavaScript, just start there. Start with those three things. Start with HTML and CSS first. Those would be the two things that I would strongly suggest you like start with in that journey, and then look at JavaScript, and then look at API, and then look at DOM. Like don't think you have to tackle all of these things at the same time because you don't. So I don't know. Leon, you got anything?
Yeah, just know that you mentioned being in offense security. Uh, you will know everything. Most of the job is landing a client's network or a client application, seeing technologies you've never seen and you've never thought you will see, and learning how to use that technology while you're doing the pen test. And if you find like an open source application, like I did in a test last week, uh, I spin up like the Docker container for that application and tinker it with the settings uh, on my own instance of the open source software.
Thank you. And hello to Haircut Fish and Tech Ricky. Good to see you all. And Tech Ricky says you have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. 100%. Kumar, hello. You are a MSc cybersecurity grad in the UK with CompTIA Network Plus and Security Plus. IC squared CC 2.5 years in technical support and planning CCNA. You're struggling to get interviews. Any tips on a UK style resume? Are resumes in other countries that vastly different from everywhere else? Like, this is an honest question. Like I honestly, me being a stubborn American, typical, right? Like I have no clue. Like I'm sorry. I
I
will
I
I
mean,
will freely
all
admit
I
I'm a
know, all I know from the UK is that you need to have correct certifications. That's it.
That's where I was going to go with it too. Got to get that crest cert.
Mhm.
Honestly, yes, the countries are going to be different. There's going to be different requirements and things like that. I can't say for certain exactly what, organizations and things are looking for in the UK. I can tell you from a United States standpoint that we really, really place a lot of emphasis more on experience than anything else. Right. I don't know if the UK is going to be similar, but
Mhm.
if you're struggling to get interviews, it's majority of the time because of your resume. So you're on point there. That's always like my first go-to. I'm sorry, I'm like going through the thought process of your question right now and I'm verbalizing that to you all. But yeah, like that's always my go-to. If somebody says, "Hey, I'm having a really hard time getting interviews," it's like, well, your resume is probably really bad then, if you have like credentials and experience and things like that, which you do, right? You have a degree, you have certifications, you have experience, you have all of the things. Like you literally meet requirements no matter what, right? Like the experience is huge, the degree, like those are the two biggest things. So if you're not getting an interview, it's because your resume sucks. Sorry to put it point blank, but that's typically what happens. I put together a video a few years ago that could be helpful for you. There's also maybe the soft skills thing would be better. I don't know. I'll link
But
this
I
one.
don't know how. I don't know how. I know it's very common here. Like I would expect that it's very common in the UK as well. That it's more about who you know these
Yeah.
days, and like the UK is being a little smaller in that field. I would expect that you're going to have to start networking a lot more to get past the initial interview process and no longer be just a name on a paper. You need probably some reference of somebody that's willing to like, hey, he put it in a resume. Can we pull that and look at it? Because
Yeah.
it's there's a large number of people that are out there applying, and you've got to do things that separate you. And sometimes it's that word from an internal source that helps you, like
Yep.
Zach and helping me with Black Hills.
No, I would never do that. I guess I did. You're welcome. You did it all. It wasn't me. I didn't do anything. You proved yourself. Series says some of the best advice they ever heard about learning is if pain is weakness leaving the body, then confusion is ignorance leaving the mind. Yeah, fair. And Janeth, when you learn about the API, okay, so you saw a video about API on YouTube. There's different content, and you search about API in chatbot. This gives a different content. All content confused me, and using that chatbot to clear your doubt, clarify your answer is correct, but this time giving a different content. You're frustrated. So you're using AI and trying to learn about AI and stuff. Is that what's going on right now? That's what it sounds like. I mean, if you're, doesn't like Juice Labs or whatever the heck, do they have API stuff? You know,
uh,
Juice Shop.
the- yeah, they do have API, but I'm blanking
Uh,
on
I would go to,
IPsec University. That's the
okay.
resource. I think they still have like the free, yeah, free training API.
Well, they
Yeah,
have a lot of good conferences as well.
yeah, Janeth, I apologize because I believe there's kind of like a communication disconnect too. So I'm not quite understanding exactly what you're saying. Um, let's see.
If you want to learn about API security, that's one of the best resources now.
Yeah, if anybody has any other resources, yeah, please let us know. Muhammad, you say actually you learned Company Security Plus and learned Python as a programming language. And is there anything more that you need to learn to do what? What is it that you're looking to do? And there's a lot to learn, but depends on what you're looking to do. Yeah, I saw you hiding, Brett. I'm sorry. You didn't have to join the stage. You sound like you're sick too or something.
I am.
I'm
That's why
sorry.
I'm not on camera. I look rough.
Oh, haircut fish, yay.
Yeah.
Rylan, you're a new system administrator. Congratulations. And you're currently thinking about your career path and how to get to the next level. You're considering getting the CISSP as your next step, but have no idea what you could do with it. Do you think this is a good idea? I think it's a bad idea if you're going after a certification that you have no idea what you'll do with it then, right? Like that's a bad idea. What is it that you want to do next? Is my question back to you. Because I guess if you're looking to get into security, then maybe the CA at least it could be helpful. Are you looking to get into more management and things like that? CISSP could be helpful. Do you want to be more technical? I wouldn't go after the CISSP. But I wouldn't maybe go after that one immediately. It's still probably something that would be helpful for you. Hi, Haircut Fish. How are you? You trying to get your stuff to work?
Not too bad. Trying to get the camera and audio set up real quick.
Audio is working.
Because you moved your camera so we could play Magic.
Hey. Audio only
Siri.
today. It's lunchtime and I'm a mess.
All good. How you doing?
Doing all right. 7 missed last night.
Hey, Haircut Fish.
One thing I wanted to say about CISP, you mentioned that you're a new sysadmin. If you don't have a few years of background before getting the sysadmin position, I would just use CISSP as a roadmap for things that are worth learning, because other people value them when you can tick off the checkbox by doing the exam and passing. If you are new as a sysadmin right now, and that's also one of your first jobs in security or with a security focus, then you're probably too early in your career to actually make real progress against CISSP. So like plan for it, use it as a roadmap. Unless you've got the experience already in the bag for most of it, I would not push real hard yet.
Thank you, sir. And just a reminder for people joining us, it's a very open format. Everybody is more than welcome to participate and ask questions. And for people joining us on the YouTubes, you can join us here on the Discord and hang out with other people from the community. And participate here
We're
as
on
well.
the YouTubes too.
Yeah,
LinkedIn
live
too.
stream. Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, LinkedIn. I think we're on Twitch too. I got it all over the place.
I mean,
I'm
Kick.
gonna admit, I hate this angle that I have for this camera right now. I absolutely hate it.
I
Is
hate
it like
it
a laptop? Like a laptop webcam?
No, I literally just got done 3D printing risers for my monitor because I was still looking down like this. And so now my eye line is center with my monitor, but the top of it is like way up here. So I didn't try the camera out up there yet, but I'm like, that's really high. And so it's either looking down or looking up at me right now.
Okay.
So
you're too fancy.
You're
too fancy in 3D printing the monitor risers. I used to use books.
I would 3D print anything I could if I could afford a 3D printer. It would be great to have stuff that was exactly shaped just so. That said, I would probably do a lot more with woodworking if I had a good place to get some wood from.
I did the whole monitor stand. I did it's just the sides I ended up doing, and I had a piece of wood that I cut down for it to set on. But I designed those, and I was actually going to redesign those to lift it, but my bed was too small. So I'm like, well, I can just they're risers, but I just call them the shoes for the monitor stand. I printed it's some shoes so it gets taller. So I designed those and then printed.
Got a question coming from the YouTubes here. I believe it was, yeah. Oh no, from Facebook. I forgot we're on Facebook too. Oh my goodness, we're all over the place. So Lewis says my roommate. They have two questions, and I don't think the rest of their question got cut off. But the roommate has an associate degree in cybersecurity. His contract ended 2 years ago, and no job till now. He's so frustrated. What advice, please? And then you own a small financial data. I think it got cut off. Hang on. I own a small financial service company. I want to learn cloud so that I can back up your client's financial data. Any advice, please? Oh my goodness.
Oh, that's a hard one. Well,
For your second one, you definitely need to reach out to like a local MSP or some type of, you know, computer service. I don't know, like
yeah,
mom and pop shop maybe in your area, but maybe hopefully there's like a MSP or something that can help you out with that. That's going to be your best bet.
yeah, and you have to be really careful because with financial data, you have a lot of regulations that you need to abide by. So you just gotta be super careful. And there are, well, I don't know the US because I'm not that familiar with the US financial ads or something like that. But for example, here in Dominican Republic, you cannot pay financial data outside the country. So you have to have data centers here in the country to save like the Dominican data, Dominican financial data, basically. We have, I think only Azure and AWS are like allowed to save that information. But yeah, you have to be really careful. Regarding the first question about your friend that has having had a job in 2 years, it's hard, but you have to well, we always said it here. You have to do a lot of networking, participate in communities. If your friend is not part of the Black Hills Infosec community, they should come here, participate in Antisyphon Training, and from there you can start joining more communities, get yourself known, uh, share what you're doing, share what you're good at, and eventually, not immediately, you'll get a job.
Yeah, I think getting out there in the community is going to be your biggest help, especially if you're not seeing you're applying and you're not seeing. I mean, are they reworking their resume per job that they're applying for? That's a great start, but I feel the biggest help is the community. Going out there, meeting people, making friends, knowing people in the industry, they're going to help you to get those jobs. And your name being dropped in rooms you're not in is going to be your biggest help. So you're making friends with these people. They're out talking to somebody, and that person's like, "Oh, hey, yeah, I got this job coming up," and this your friend's like, "Hey, you know what? I got the perfect person for that job for you," and your name's dropped, or you're doing something real neat, write a blog, making videos, what have you, and they're like, "Yeah, I know that person. They're doing these really cool things. You should check them out." And I think the fact of getting your name said when you're not there in good context, it is a giant help to get those jobs.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I can't type and talk at the same time. It's not a skill that I've learned in my years of life. But yeah, make sure you guys connect with each other on LinkedIn too. LinkedIn it's like, I don't know, it's still the best resource probably for all of the things. And I don't know if there's anybody here is anybody here surprised by hearing what Haircut Fish said or anything like that? I feel like, it's like when I hear somebody else say stuff like that, I mean, I know, like I see it every day. Like people find success through networking because things have changed so much. But I feel like there's a lot of people who, especially those who've maybe like been working for like the last 15 years, who haven't had to like go out and get a new job or whatever, like they're coming back or coming, into the market now, the job market now,
Mhm.
and everything is so incredibly different. And to like hear somebody say, "Oh, you need to like network with people and like write blogs," like I'm always under the assumption still that most people are like, "Oh, that's just bullshit," right? And I'm sorry, and like use the
So
language, right? But
Mhm.
like I'm curious, like, is there anybody out there who does like right now who does think that? Because I see it often, and I just want to address that, I guess.
I
so
mean,
Oh, Siri,
I
go
think
ahead.
there you go.
yeah, I
Sorry.
think some of those things that people recommend a lot, like blogs, are harder to make work than others. And the basic idea of you need to network, the idea of you need to record your stuff that you've done, you need to leave some kind of evidence that others can see for the work you do, what you're like, what your voice sounds like that's not a bad thing. I think that some people assume that having a blog means having a significant audience, and it doesn't.
Uh,
Blogging is not networking.
It's like people who get a
Unless you
certification
turn it
who,
right,
like,
unless you turn influencer,
Mhm.
which people mostly aren't doing on blogs anymore. Like,
Yeah.
unless you pull that trick off, that kind of piece is not helping so much. But the underlying idea of you need to leave evidence of what you like, you need to leave evidence of how you think, of what kinds of problems you've tackled on your own, like that's all solid. And the idea that you need to get in touch with people who have professional context, and it doesn't even always have to be people in your industry. People know lots of people, and lots of the reasons they know people don't have anything to do with work. So you wind up with people with very different backgrounds. So you may have, a writer friend who happens to be in the room with their friend from high school that they've been in touch with forever, and they're a cybersecurity person. Like those you're not in the room recommendations and things like that are unbelievably valuable. They're definitely how I got at least two or three of the positions I've ever had in my life. And one of those was one of the longest running positions I've ever held. Okay. So those sorts of things cannot talk them up enough. But I think that there's a real disconnect with people in the internet age. And I think this has been a disconnect for maybe as much as 10 years, but definitely 5,
yeah, for sure.
where some kinds of activity that happen online that may feel like you're getting a lot of feedback or may feel like you're getting no feedback have a different kind of value. So I don't think anything Haircut Fish said is wrong. And I don't think that the advice to make blogs, to post about what you're doing, any of that is bad advice. But I think people get mixed up about what they're for. And then it's hard for them to see that it's working for the thing it is for.
Oh yeah.
Really, like when I look at a blog, right, especially for what we're all doing here, right, IT, cybersecurity, a blog should be more representative in a way as a knowledge base for you than anything else. And I say that because as you're going through this learning journey that you're doing right now, you can be blogging or documenting everything that you're freaking learning, right? That's a blog. Like that's an article. That's something. That is something that you can put 2 words and say, this is what I've done. Like, this is what I learned. This is like, the tool that I learned today. This is the project that I did this week, and here's what I learned from it and blah, 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 blah. That's all it is. Like, that's literally all that it is. And you might be like, okay, like whatever, Zach. But like, I promise you, like 5 years from now, you're going to like think about one of these things or something's going to come up in your job and you'll be like, how do I do that? And you're gonna be like, oh yeah, I wrote a blog about that. I wrote an article about that. And you're going to go back to that. And you're probably like, yeah, okay, that's BS. I still do this to this day. Like I have videos on my YouTube channel that are almost 10 years old. setting up Active Directory. I still refer back to those videos to walk myself through setting up Active Directory. Like that is an amazing resource that I have that I always can go fall back to and use for me, nobody else, for me. The extra side benefit of you doing this, of you putting these resources out there for yourself, for everybody else to see, is that other people get to see them. And that's like the hidden value in all of it, right? So it's not just for everybody, it's for you.
Yep.
Sorry, went on a little tirade. I do that.
No, it was good.
Clever Corgi. That's how you got in. Met someone at a wedding, referred you to another person who knew someone who owned a cybersecurity company, and they set up an interview with you, and you got the job of having a few basic certs and a website that showcased your Try Hack Me experience. Yeah, that's the website. Like I've been like on that like bandwagon for so long. Because that is the easiest thing that you can add to your resume. That like for me, like every time somebody had a custom website, like URL or whatever, like their email address or put it in there, like that was the very first thing that I went and looked at, very first thing that I checked out, and then I looked them up on social media. And I know there's other people doing the exact same thing. Like it's not just me doing it. There's plenty of other hiring managers and things doing that. Dan, we both laughed at the same thing, I think. But yeah.
That I basically, like, originally I when I kind of harkening back to the blogs, I started on just like a blog platform, and I didn't care for it. I didn't like it, but I knew I wanted to build a website. And so I ended up I talked with Wade because he showed his the one day during it was like a Black Hills, I forget what he was on, and so I'm like, hey, this is pretty sweet. And so I talked with him and ended up building out my site that way, and added so much to it, which I really need to get back to adding stuff. That's on the list of things I want to do, is try and write some more to post on there. But yeah, I definitely think having a website helps you stand out a lot as well. Because you can look at what everybody else is doing, and you can almost compare. Well, if everybody else has to write a resume, everybody else is giving their experience and all this, how am I going to stand out against those people? How many of them have their own website with their experience, with all the like information about them, what they're learning, etc. on it? Probably not that many. It's such an amazing resource that can be built upon and used for so many amazing things. Not necessarily even a helping with your career, but even as Zach said, that can be your knowledge base, is your website. So I'll get off my soapbox now.
Yeah, but is it WordPress?
Got a question from.
That's all I need to know. Is that site WordPress?
Is it WordPress? Mine? Yeah, it's always. Of course, it's WordPress. Hack it. Have fun. Good luck.
Oh no, I meant Haircut Fish.
Oh.
No, I use GitHub Pages.
Nice.
So that it was I'll admit it was a pain to set up, but it was nice because it got me going through a whole bunch of like really technical things and working with GitHub. But once I had it set up, it really was extremely low maintenance. Just occasionally you just have to update some of the code to newer versions. But they're even including things in there so that it auto updates like Jekyll and all that.
Got a question coming from the YouTubes from Ty. With the difficulty of getting into the cybersecurity field, could it be only a few are meant to be in this field? Dude, time is not on my side. I'm over 40. So age is not a barrier in this field at all. Get that out of your head. Throw that out the window. Kick it. Just get rid of that thought. Not a barrier. This field is difficult for everybody to get into right now, just like I think a lot of other fields are difficult to get into right now. So it's not just this one. I think, man, I think mostly anybody can work in IT and cybersecurity. I don't know entirely know how to answer this question because all I really want to say is I think basically what I said. You're fine. Don't worry about it. You will be okay. Just keep moving forward and just keep your nose to the pavement and keep learning. You'll be all right. God's here.
Yeah, don't worry about age. I'm 46, so like
No,
moving from background in IT over to cybersecurity focus. The thing that's tricky is some hiring systems may give you trouble because of your age, but it is not the field and it is not the subject matter. Probably the most important thing you can do if you are transitioning from something that's very different from cybersecurity instead of like sliding a little sideways or up and sideways from general IT is think about all the things you know about and that you know how to break or what you have to do to keep them from breaking. Because that mindset is exactly what goes into figuring out both blue team side, how do I defend, and red team side, how do I break in? Leverage the experience you have from other fields, from anything you know about, hobbies, etc when you think about when you are studying cybersecurity stuff, whether it's something where you're trying to stack on something interesting or whatever else.
I think a lot of people who have kind of like the this thought here of like, my am I too old or whatnot, if you are between the ages of like 35 and 45, well, yeah, probably maybe a little bit, maybe like 37 to 47 ish, probably around there. Like more than likely, I would say more than likely, if you're between that age range, I would almost guarantee that you know 4 times as much about technology than anybody who is younger than that or older than that, because you are a millennial and you grew up with this shit. So, yeah. Like if you're in that age range, like you're perfect for this and you'll be sought after because you have experience. You have life experience, which, a lot of younger people just don't have. And life experience is incredibly beneficial in cybersecurity specifically. Anyway, if y'all have any other questions, you can throw them into the chat. We are here to help
I don't know
y'all out.
where you at. I lost internet a bit.
I think we're caught up with everything. Ty, righteous, you're a Gen X. Yeah, I mean, you should be all right. Maybe. The millennials is like, that's where it's at. Like,
I'm
we had
supposed
it
to be
made.
a Zillennial, Gen Z, a millennial mates because I am on the blind spot where you can be a millennial, but you can also be a Gen Z. 90s kid. There's a question
from user 8675309. Got it. Is it true that fewer people work in Android security and reverse engineering penetration testing compared to web security? If so, would it be a good idea for you to focus more on Android and reverse engineering topics rather than concentrating primarily on web security? That's not a bad idea, honestly. Niching down, it can be, advantageous for you. It could be beneficial and helpful for you. Android,
I'm technically still
definitely.
on it, but I threw up the piece to mute it. It's the ask me
No,
anything every week.
you didn't mute yourself, Siri, but it's okay.
Oh, then I'm on a different mic.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, definitely, I would say fewer people work with Android. There's not a lot of training out there, too. I know John Strand is actually working on an Android penetration testing class. So yeah, I mean, definitely could be more advantageous for you. Mobile as a whole, I think, is one of those areas that doesn't get enough support and definitely needs it. So,
I mean, it's on high demand too.
I think also like a lot of the time we'll have these questions where it's like, is this going to be a good spot to work in because there's not a lot of people? Are you passionate about that? If it's something you're passionate about, go for it. Like as Zach was saying there, if it's a niche that you enjoy, go for it. Like work work into that. And if you enjoy working the mobile security, yeah, go for it. With that not being a lot of people, it could be lucrative for you because there's not that many people to like the pool to dip from, essentially, for that type of uh, penetration testing. So I'd say if it's something you enjoy, go for it. But also, if you get into it and you don't enjoy it, it's not set in stone. You can always go into something else. That's another thing I love about this, like cyber, is you're not set on one path. Like I love blue team. I want to be a detection engineer. If down the road I find that I really enjoyed this, but I don't care for it as much as I used to, I can always pivot that into something else in cyber. A lot of the times you can use skills that you gained in one area in another. So
Rylan asks, how did you decide which technical area you wanted to work at? And was it easy to transition into the field or not? Like, so was it easy to transition into the like overall field as a whole, or easy to transition more into like the specific area in the field?
I'm gonna say it's never easy to change your field. It's not even easy even if you were in the field. So there's nothing that is easy. Everything takes a lot of hard work, and you have to be willing to put in those hours and hard work. For myself, it's kind of easy because cyber is also my hobby. But if it's not your hobby, if cyber is just a means to bring money to the table, it's going to be hard. Well, harder than how hard it is already.
I don't know many people, believe me, I've interviewed and asked this question to like a lot of people of like, how did you get your start in this field, right? And I don't think I can't really think of anybody like off the top of my head who started, working in IT or security in like more in like the exact kind of role that they wanted. And not that that's exactly possible, right? But like what I'm getting at is like, I don't know anybody that's like stayed in the exact role that they thought they were going to be in initially, right? Like so many people have just like evolved and are doing different things. And that's part of like this field ultimately, is that you're always going to be learning and you're always going to have opportunity to continue learning, which gives you the opportunity to do different things. So like it's Haircut and Fish and Leon were saying, like you're never going to be siloed in a specific area within this field. The biggest advantage that you'll always have is experience under your belt. If you have experience, like that's always going to help take you wherever you want to go. So it kind of makes the transitioning within this field a little bit easier once you get there. But that first initial like foray into the field can be difficult for sure.
I was going to say, I was going to answer the prior question. Sorry, been in and out. Uh, about the Android things, like web apps. There's a ton of them. There's going to be a lot more. Like I think picking up the knowledge on Android applications and everything will benefit you on both sides. But I think don't stop focusing on web apps just because that's the sheer reality of the world nowadays. But on kind of transitioning to figure out where you want to be in technical field, that from my experience is like there's something that's going to draw you passionately, something you're going to have energy and focus, and you're going to be more drawn to. That's where you should focus. It's not going to be easy getting a job in that, but you got to stand firm. Like this is what I want to do, and if people are not giving you that opportunity when they accept you for a job, then you have to ask yourself, is this gonna get me to where I want to be, or should I just move on to something else? You have to keep trying. Like it's hard work, like Leon said, it's not gonna be easy. Like I know for my size, like I wanted to be a pen tester, and I said that's what I want to do. Like what can I do to make myself better in that, or to make it so they're willing to invest in me becoming a pen tester? So it's like it's going to take a lot of work, but it's really where's your passion, and that's what's going to drive you to even excel in that field.
Yeah, it's not like this isn't anything that you need to figure out right now either. That wouldn't stress yourself out over it. NX, hi. Do you think it's better to pursue a cybersecurity career path if most of your work involves server deployment and DevOps, or should you continue focusing on becoming more specialized in DevOps instead? I think you should focus on doing what you enjoy. And that goes to basically what Leon and Brett were kind of saying too. That's honestly like the best answer that I can give, right? Or any of us could give, truly. Does it make sense, like with what you're doing, to continue learning DevOps and going down that path? Sure. Is it what you enjoy? I don't know. I can't answer that. If you don't enjoy it, I absolutely would not freaking do it. I would figure out what it is that I do enjoy and do everything that I can to do those things, right?
If you like
DevOps is a
DevOps,
subset of cybersecurity, so like understanding the security aspect of DevOps is only going to benefit you. But I don't consider them separate things. Like secure DevOps is the thing that needs to happen.
if you like DevOps, go the DevOps way. If you like cyber more, go the cyber way more.
Didn't get to say bye to Haircut Fish. Zero, you're someone who's got a weird and diverse background and no formal degree and lack of funds to just go and get certifications. Despite 15 years of experience with doing IT stuff, I find it very hard to find people willing to take a chance on unconventional folks. What you're interested in is doing red team stuff, but open for a lot. But I can't seem to find even as much as a trainee position or an internship. Any advice? Go through all of the free training things that you can. So Antisyphon Training, we have a lot of pay for what you can training that starts at $0. I would strongly suggest you do some of that. TCM Security has some free or very cheap courses that are, more red team focused, those can be really great for you. They even have like a lot of free stuff on YouTube. Go through this learning journey, right? And then if you may not have been here earlier, so I'm going to repeat some things that we said earlier. Start blogging and documenting all the things that you're learning. Share that out onto the internets and start networking with people. That is going to be the best advice that we can give you, hands down. It's going to be more difficult for you. I'm not going to try to sugarcoat it, right? Like if you don't have a degree or certifications and things like that, it can be more difficult for you. But the more that you go about, like learning and showing like the work that you're doing, documenting those things, blogging, like I feel like I've broken records saying that stuff. I'm so sorry. But yeah, like those are the things that stand out, and networking with people. That's what's going to really help you start taking those next steps. Get on LinkedIn, start connecting with people in the community, start participating in conversations and things like that, like just like what you're doing right now. Like this is a great first step for you. Do more things like this. Go to more events like this, more live events where you can interact with people and connect with them. Y'all are more than welcome to like share your LinkedIn profile links in the chat so you can connect with one another. Like that's what this is here for, is for this community to come together and help each other out. So I think those are some of the best initial bits of advice that we can give you.
Yeah. And another thing, I'm gonna be different than most people. Don't apply to internships or trainee positions. You have 15 years experience. And from my point of view, as a hiring manager for an area, if you're, for example, this exact weekend, I'm hiring some people, not in the US, sorry. Someone with 10 plus years of experience that has the title of Senior Information Security Officer apply for a pen testing internship. I'm like, what the heck are you doing? I don't care if you don't have pen testing experience. That's something that can be taught, and you can learn it fast if you've been in IT for 10 plus years. Because that's all we do. We see systems, we see how they're configured, and if there are misconfigurations, we exploit them. Pen testers are just sysadmins that want to break things, basically.
True story.
So stop applying for those internships. They are not
Yeah.
for you.
I
And
agree.
also, hiring managers will see your resume and it's like, okay, he's probably earning like six figures. A lot of interns are not getting paid in the US. Mine are paid, but that's another thing. But yeah, most are not getting paid, and they'll be asking, why is this guy applying for an internship that it's not paid? That he probably makes six figures.
Yep, that's good advice too. Thank you. Clever Corgi, you had a question. You work in GRC role, you're working towards pen testing besides getting the popular pen test certs and grinding. Try hack me, hack the box like everyone else. How else can you stand out since your current job doesn't really give you the direct skills you'll need for your next chapter? I think we kind of honestly answered that question with the previous one. If you need me to go over anything else about that, please let me know. But overall, just network with people. Meetup.com, go to local meetups in your area. Those are all going to be very, very helpful for you. And then I have a couple other questions here on other platforms. So one is, let's see. Is the government sector a good area to be in? You're seeing it's not the best location to be. Yeah, U.S. government right now. Yeah, that's what I'll say. That's
Let's
my
not
answer.
talk
I'm
about
not
it.
Yep, yep.
It's
Anyway,
complicated. You
it's
have
complicated.
It's a
you have
roll of
the
the
answer.
dice.
Yeah,
There's the
yeah.
potential for another shutdown, so you're not
Right.
likely to get in anytime soon. If you're trying to be a company that's going to support through the FedRAMP process or any of that, there's a likelihood you're going to go without pay if there is a shutdown. Like there's stability in it when there isn't such a situation that we have right now, but then there's also this risk. So it's up to you and how much of a headache and willing you're trying to go through the process.
Daniel on LinkedIn says I get bummed about the age thing too, but when they look around, they notice people in their late 30s to 40s seem to be in the people who are most likely to know how things work. For example, their parents or their older siblings had no clue regarding any computer tech, and their younger family members know how to use technology, but they never even consider how it works. Yeah, even like a lot of young people don't know how computers work. Like
Yeah.
they don't even know how
All
their phones work, and they're on their phones 24/7 on TikTok.
all they know is how to swipe up on TikTok, and they don't know how to use TikTok. They only know how to swipe up, how to open YouTube, stuff like that.
Take screenshots. Yeah. Let me see. Going through user, what are some alternative ways for individuals with hacking skills to generate income apart from traditional full-time employment, bug bounties, either lesser known or well, we're not going to talk about no, we're not going to go there. And well, I mean, unconventional, I guess, could be still okay, but I mean, I think you nailed it with like bug bounties, honestly, and maybe consulting.
freelancing,
Yeah, freelance consulting.
but that's not unconventional.
Null Shadow, if you found a vulnerability in a website that doesn't have a bug bounty program, should you report it or not? I mean, I would still report it to them.
I reported, and he said had to contact the website owner. Depends on the business. Sometimes the website owner is not the business itself. You have to look for that LinkedIn, whatever. If you know the owner of the company and the name of the owner or not, on LinkedIn again. If it's a place that is close to you, go to the place and tell them, "Hey, I found this." Just tell them you found it by mistake, because some people don't take it lightly. and report responsibly. If they don't do anything, well, you cannot do anything else. You did the good job, which is reporting. Just don't publish shit on the internet.
Rahai, you say that English is not that good. You joined IT University last month, and what is my advice? What is my advice for what? And then Ty, how can IT experience work if your IT experience is more help desk, like password reset and some identity access management? Is work if you're okay. So if you have what I would do if you have experience working in help desk, working in IT, period, what I would do is open up like a Word doc and start listing out all of the things that you do. Literally, like just go through your day, go through your week, go through your month, like think about projects that you've done, that you've worked on, but basically just write down every single thing that you do. It doesn't even always have to be technical related. And please include things that are not technical related, like I can't even think of something like soft skill stuff and all that, right? Or communication and things like that, right? Put all that in a document, and then you're going to go to the Chat GPT. And I'm sorry to do this to you, but then you're going to go to the Chat GPT, and then you're going to say, how can all of my experience help me in the next role, like whatever that role is that you want to do? Like what's your next step, right? Like maybe pen testing, right? I don't know if you said anything earlier and what you were looking to do, but let's just say you want to, do pen testing. Basically, you can ask ChatGPT, hey, how does my past experience align with a penetration testing role? And it's going to spit back some results. And then you can say, based on, my experience, what are some things that I should start learning, to help me start down this path? And you're going to get some results. And they're all going to be helpful for you because it's like literally that is such a just very cut and paste, super simple, easy thing that you can do with ChatGPT, and it's not going to really steer you wrong. It's not good, you shouldn't have any hallucinations and things like that. But that is honestly like the best way I feel like to really realize and understand like all the things that you do. I did this recently for work. It's like, okay, I'm writing down all my stuff, and I was like, make a job description based on this. Like, here's all my tasks. Make a job description. And it did. It was fantastic, and it laid it out like amazing. And then I was like, what are some other things that I can be doing to help advance? I forgot how I worded it.
Bands move to the next step.
Basically, and I was like, here's a couple things that you could focus on, like, gave me really good like pointers, their tips based on like what it is that I'm doing. And then it provided me with like really good like learning resources. So like I know that it works. But hopefully that helps you out a little bit, because I know it can be very difficult it's so difficult for many people to really like understand how past experience could correlate or be helpful for you in your new positions and new things that you're doing. And you'd be even more surprised, like even if you haven't worked in IT previously, how much your past experience, like working with different applications and systems and things like that, can be very helpful for you as you're going, further into this journey. So, I don't know. Hopefully that was helpful. My brain started to shut down towards the end there. So it's see we're at time though. So I appreciate you all joining us this week for our weekly AMA. We'll be back again next week for more. Same time, same place. And if you guys want to participate and help answer questions, come back next week. You can do that too, or ask more questions. But thank you all for joining. Appreciate you. Good seeing y'all, and we'll see you all next time. Bye-bye, everybody.
Yeah, bye-bye.